Alright, on this video we got the YesWelder CUT-65DS Plus Edition. We're going to be unboxing it, going through some of the settings and features that this plasma cutter has. And at the end of the video we're going to do some test cuts, and I'll give you my honest review on this plasma cutter right over here. This is the first time I have a YesWelder product, so let's see what this YesWelder is really all about. First things first, you got your accessories come in a separate box, and then you got the plasma cutter right over here. Let's remove this. Alright, pretty lightweight, as you can see. I'm holding it with one hand. Alright, and let's take a look at what's in the accessory package. You got some instructions with other consumables right here, an additional air fitting, your ground strap, your plasma cutter torch, voltage converter, and a little bit of tubing for the compressor line, but we're gonna optimize this a little bit. Let's go ahead and talk about the setup. Alright, so the YesWelder CUT-65DS Plus has been upgraded over the previous generations, because I was looking at some of the reviews, and this is the latest product revision, and it's really good. They did good changes for this machine that makes it nice, efficient, and visually appealing to look at. So let's go ahead. This is pretty much it. Very simple kit, very simple stuff here. Right off the bat, we got your consumables, because again, this machine, the 65DS Plus, does 4 different types of cuts. We'll get into that. So they give you consumables here for 2 of those additional cuts. It comes with a air fitting. As you can see, this air fitting would probably be going with the hose that they provided, but again, we can use the standard hose from our compressor. They give you some Teflon tape here for the fitting as well. You got yourself an owner's manual, pretty good, colored, gives you all the instructions, options, and also the troubleshooting guide. YesWelder also gives you some precautions and tips and tricks while you're doing plasma cutting, so you get the best cut. And I believe they offer you a warranty. I'll list that warranty right now as well. This is your ground strap, pretty standard ground strap amongst different welders and plasma cutters. Very acceptable, no complaints. The wire is pretty flexible as well. It is a nice warm day today, but yeah, no issues with the wire during warm temperatures. The plasma cutter is right over here. The beautiful thing about this is the older generations, you had many cables you had to plug and play. There was one cable here, and then you had to ground different cables to the front of the machine. As you can see, no more grounding. Simple design, visually appealing. Just plug the whole thing in and you're good to go. You got your ground strap that goes right in here, and you got your torch that plugs in right here, and it's as simple as that. Now, talking about the torch now, it already is pre-assembled for plasma cutting. It's got a safety switch right over here, as you can see. Overall, pretty nice, good grip. A little bit of a rubber here that does give you enhanced grip. And the best thing is this little swivel right at the end. It gives you that little extra movement that you might need during certain cuts. I like it because otherwise this would be one big stiff piece. So pretty good, I like it. It also does come with a little wrench for you to be able to remove your consumables and exchange them when you need to. This is, again, a dual voltage machine. Today we're going to be running it off our garage, which is 120. But if you do have access to a shop that offers 240, you can definitely convert it, and then you can get more cutting power from the plasma cutter. So that pretty much summarizes the tools and what you get with the machine. Again, the machine is pretty small. Let's just dive right into the machine itself here and what it features, the buttons and the options here. So in the back, you got your on and off switch, you got a fan. They already integrated a moisture air separator right in here, and it comes installed with your standard fitting that will work for my compressor. One thing you could see what they did, they extended the casting of the machine right over here in order to nicely, securely mount this whole air regulator, air separator, so it looks like one complete unit. It is protected from obstacles. It's not just dangling around, and it actually makes it look uniform with the machine, which is nice thought process. Some of these machines, these filters are just like an afterthought, so really appreciate that. But let's go ahead from the front of the machine again. You got your negative cable that plugs in here, you got your torch that plugs in here. Really nice, cleaned up quite well, minimalistic, and as you can see, there's only one knob and a couple of buttons, which we'll run through right now to tell you what they all mean. But this is very simple to use, and the LCD here, you guys will see, is awesome. So we're going to be using our standard air compressor fitting. It goes right in, and there's no leaking from the separator. So now going back to the front of the machine, you will see a few options. The first thing you see is the inlet PSI, and you can adjust the PSI based on this rear knob right here. So as you can see, I'm adjusting the PSI, and you can do it to your desired liking based on what you're cutting. Now I'm going to walk you through all these options right over here. All right, going into the display, very nice, big, vivid display. As you can see, the two biggest things you see here is the PSI, and you can adjust it at the back of the machine by turning the knob. And then you got your amperage for your cut, and you can adjust the amperage through this knob right over here. So on the top left corner, you can see the voltage that the machine is currently getting. So obviously I don't have 220, 240, so I'm running it at 120, as you can see, by 118. As long as you have this green light on, you are able to rock and roll and do your cuts. Everything is working perfectly. Now going through some of the other modes, you can change the PSI setting to also read and bar, whatever you prefer. So PSI and bar are your options. And this is the post flow button. You can adjust the post flow from 10 seconds all the way to 90 seconds, depending on your cut. And again, you can adjust your current and amperage through the control knob. You also have two options as far as the cut itself. You can run it in 2T fashion or 4T fashion. So that's going to determine your on and off switch and what it does. And then the cut mode is going to cycle you through the 4 different cut modes that this CUT-65DS Plus has. And that includes plate cutting, grid cutting, gouging, and marking. And we're going to go through those settings here shortly. I like this protective cover here as well, and there's only one way this goes in. I just forgot to mention, this actually has a swivel as well, so both the head of the torch and the bottom, the base, have swivels. It gives you a little bit less tension on the machine and the cables itself. So at this point, guys, we're pretty much ready to rock and roll. As you can see, very simple setup. And yeah, we're gonna start off cutting some material here. I got a mix of material. I got some mild steel, I got some aluminum. We'll see. This is kind of like my first time trying this out, so let's see how my cuts go. I'm starting off with 55 psi and 35 amps. So I already did a little cut, and man, this thing works fantastic. Goes right through it. I'm gonna try one more time right here. Hopefully you guys can see it. So as you can see, these are my first cuts, running the amperage that I'm running. Super buttery smooth, to be honest. Yeah, it didn't penetrate all the way to the bottom because it's a hollow tube, but just penetrating the top portion of this, super butter, super butter. I think if I increase the amperage, we'll be able to go through the entire tube. So let's do that next. As you can see, we cut through the whole thing. Pretty nice, clean cut. It really depends on how fast or how slow you move to get that energy and that penetration. But even though this is a hollow tube, with patience, slower moving motion, you're able to cut right through it. Pretty awesome. I'm gonna try to do a little hole right now. See if I can do a little hole to mimic, let's say if we were welding a bung somewhere. Let's see how it does. So as you can see, I was able to do the hole here, no problems whatsoever. So now I got a little thicker material, as you can see. I'm gonna try to just run through here, see if it has any issues. I'll be doing 52 psi at 35 amperage. As you can see, no problems really going through that as well. All right, now we got them combined. I'm not sure what the thickness would be, but let's see if it can run through both of them. As you can see, no real problems going through it. A little bit of slag at the bottom, but it sliced right through it. All right, now we got some very thin wall aluminum. I dropped it down to about 50 psi and probably like, let's do 25 amps. Let's see what happens. No problems whatsoever going through the aluminum. Doesn't go through the other side, so that was a good setting. Again, man, circles are really hard. Here's a square for you guys. Very smooth, arc smooth, consistency smooth. No real complaints right now. So now we got another pipe here. This is mild steel. It's a little thicker. I'll show you guys in a second, but yeah, we're gonna just try to do another circle here, pretending, you know, this is an exhaust tubing or something like that, and you want to install a bung here for your oxygen sensor, and you need some kind of starter hole here. All right, so I didn't have enough amperage. I didn't bump it up since the aluminum, so I bumped it up to about 50 psi, 39 amperage, and we're gonna try it again. But I'll zoom in on this one, and you can see with my speed, it wasn't able to penetrate it fully. Maybe if I slowed down quite a bit and ran it, it would have been easier. But again, yeah, it takes some patience and practice to get their speed and settings dialed in. But let's just make another hole here. All right, so this is the first cut where my amperage was low from the aluminum cut. Didn't go all the way through, and my speed was probably pretty quick here, but I started off quite good. Going into the second one, as you can see, much better. Obviously, I'm trying to work on my circles, but as you can see, there's no issues cutting that gauge steel. Very fun, very fun. Great machine so far. Super easy to use. So far, I'm impressed. Great machine, but we're pretty much done with the plate cutting. So let's try to do the grid cutting next. And by grid cutting, I mean any material that is like this. The consistency isn't consistent, and it goes from metal to air to metal to air. Sometimes these plasma cutters have issues plasma cutting through material like this. But let's go ahead and try to cut a little piece out here and see how the cut goes. No issues going through this grid. Also, I put the negative terminal on a painted surface and it did just fine, no problems. And the arc was steady, smooth, not erratic at all. So grid cutting seems like it does a great job as well. No irregular arc. Right, now that we covered plate cutting and grid cutting, we're gonna go into gouging. For gouging and the next one, which is marking, we're gonna have to change the consumables. All right, we got the torch torn apart. This is the consumable that came with it, and this one is what we need for gouging. As you can see, there is a difference between the two hats. So your question might be, what is gouging for? Well, whenever you got slag buildup such as this, you can actually use the gouging feature and cut this at an angle. It's designed to remove this slag and overhang off these materials without penetrating fully through the material itself. So as you can see, that lip that was there, that slag is pretty much eliminated. So then you just take your grinding disc or grinding flap and grind it down a little bit more. It makes the job faster and easier. I guess my favorite feature is going to be the marking feature. So we're going to see if it's able to pretty much make a very fine indent of whatever I'm going to scrabble over here. So let's just write my initials here. Bully. So as you can see, the marking feature is like a very light arc, and as you can see, you can mark up boxes, lines, locations, initials, whatever you would like, maybe potentially for the real job where you really want to cut, but these are your preliminary marks. All right guys, so we used the YesWelder CUT-65DS Plus. We ran it through all 4 features. I ran it on 2T, 4T. 2T is my go-to. Pretty much on 2T, you press and you have to hold it for it to have that arc. On 4T, you press it, it runs, you press it again to turn it off. But overall, super easy to use. Very smooth, stable arcs. From even a noob like myself, this is my first time running a plasma cutter. I had no issues whatsoever. All in all, for the price, the convenience, the packaging, the simplicity of the beautiful LCD screen, this is a awesome hobbyist plasma cutter. If you're interested, check out YesWelder. I'll have a link in the description for this plasma cutter and all their line of welders plasma cutters on their website. I ain't here for the money.